Hello and welcome to my landscape photography critique number 6. Today I've got 4 pictures of Thiago and 4 pictures of Richard. So let's get started with the first picture of Thiago. So we've got a road with some rocks. It seems that the background is a bit soft, a bit out of focus. And to the overall picture, there's not really a place where my eye goes to, like there's nothing really interesting in the picture. I definitely do like the road, but again, the road is kind of divided by this shadow, so I'm really not sure. I don't think it's a very strong picture. There's just not much interest. To the next one here. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like a brick wall. Tributars or over America's furniture. Dallas, Texas. Well, anyways, I do kind of like it. I definitely like the color. I like your tonal range that you've chosen. Really like the shadows and that it kind of gets darker towards the bottom right here. It definitely has a very nostalgic and kind of rusty and, withered feel to it. So I do like it. I think the Dutch angle really works well for this photo. And yeah, I do like the picture even though I really don't know what it is. This one right here is absolutely beautiful. I really love the road leading me through the whole picture. Amazing. You have some sky included, so we have a visual representation of the whole landscape from front to the very background. I really think that works very well. I'm really glad that you did not include too much of the sky. Just a little bit works really well here. And I really don't think a foreground is needed for that shot. I really think it works very well. Yeah, I definitely do love this picture. Then let's go to the last of your pictures. I feel like there's a bit too much sky. I definitely like the color and the contrast in the sky, but I really wish there was a bit more foreground because I really think there's something missing down there, a part of interest. And also a thing that kinda bothers me, really a small thing, is this right here. The fact that you included so much of this rock right here so you can see the fall off. I'm really not sure if that works well for this picture. Perhaps if you would have cropped the image off right here, so you don't have this little edge, it might have worked a bit better and brought a bit more harmony and smoothness to the overall picture, so to say. Anyways, those were the 4 pictures of Thiago. Once again, thank you very much for submitting these. Without any further ado, let's go on to Richard's pictures, right here to the first one. That's a really beautiful scene. Let me just check out every single detail here. Absolutely beautiful leading line. Really like that you didn't cut off any of this fence right here. Absolutely amazing composition. The longer I look at it, the more I love your composition. Really works well. You have the rule of thirds, the hill right here, then you have this pole right here on the other rule of thirds, then you have something, another pole in the rough area of another rule of thirds place, and you have some more hills in the 4th rule of thirds compositional, line overlapping. I really love this composition, absolutely amazing, these lines, how it draws me into the picture, the staircase right here, going to the hills and going over this very background to the other hills. Absolutely beautiful. Really love this picture. To this one right here. Now this is definitely not a picture that draws me in that much, because most of the lines go from top left to bottom right. There's not really anything from the foreground going into the picture. And I'm not really sure about this very kind of central position of this rock right here. I think a bit more to the left would have worked better. There's so much going on in the picture with all of this texture between grass and rocks and all of these rocks in the background. there's really nothing where my eye rests. And there's not really much interest, in my opinion, in this picture either. So even though I like the overall color of this picture, I really don't like the composition very much. To the third of your pictures here. Absolutely beautiful exposure time. Really smooth water. But in terms of foreground, I definitely like that you introduced this tree stump right here into the picture. Again, beautiful composition, by the way, with the rule of thirds. Really works well. It gives a lot of interest to the picture, but the other parts of the foreground, especially this kind of mud right here, and even the rocks are not really interesting. And perhaps a more interesting light would have worked better for the scene, especially if you would have some nice colorful lights and a lot of, differentiation between shadow and light in these rocks. I feel like that could make the picture better. And also a thing that you might want to add is some vignetting in these bottom portions of the picture. And also a thing that I kind of noticed is that your horizon isn't straight, so definitely be sure to straighten the horizon. But other than that, I kind of like it compositionally, You once again worked with the rule of thirds really well. You've got the interesting part right here, you have another hill over there, and you have a tree stump in the bottom left rule of thirds corner. And I don't even mind that the right bottom part is empty. I think that works quite well for this image, but it's just that the tree stump right here doesn't make up for this very big area of the foreground, which hasn't really any interest and isn't particularly beautiful in my personal opinion. I'd say go a bit closer to the tree stump and leave out some of this foreground right here, and I feel like you would have a better composition. And if you wait for better light additionally to that, I think you would have a really cool image. But how the picture is right now, I'd still say that it's a good picture. It's just not great, and I really think it could be with some minor changes. So let's go to your last picture here. Before I start mentioning any of the positives, I really want to point out something that really bothers me about this picture, and that is that you've covered up this coastlines and all of these trees with this plank of the bench, and you very easily could have avoided that just by bringing up the camera a little bit so the plank covers up some of the trees, which I don't nearly mind as much as covering up this coastline right here. But other than that one fact, I really think you have a very strong picture. You really have amazing composition. Once again, I really like the bench right here, so big and so dramatic in your foreground. But once again, it just covers up so much of this very important part of the image. I definitely like this hiking path, works really well, kinda leads me from the right side into the picture. Beautiful lines, beautiful composition with the clouds, with the sky. And I really like the different layers here that are so very well separated, from the grass to the very smooth water, going to the mountains right here. I really like everything about this picture except for the fact that this plank covers up so much of this coastline right here. I know how annoying these little mistakes are, especially if I look in the back of my LCD on my camera and everything looks fine, and I go back to my computer and I see it in a much bigger scale, and I realize that I just messed up a thing that I could have fixed so easily. I've done it all the time and I'm still doing it, unfortunately. Well, anyways, I hope I could give you some feedback to your pictures. Overall, I really have to say I do like your overall style of your pictures. I really love your composition. Your composition works really well, except for in this photo, but on your other 3 pictures, especially this one, it works absolutely amazing. So these are actually the 2 last submissions that I currently have. meaning I don't have any more pictures to make a critique on. If you would like to submit your own pictures though, just click on this little video right here or check the link in the description down below where I explain how you can submit your pictures. I definitely really enjoy making these critiques. It's a lot of fun looking at your pictures, and as a side effect you receive feedback to your pictures as well. So yeah, I definitely love to get some more pictures submitted, and I will keep making photo critiques if I have the pictures. Well, anyways, I want to thank you so much for submitting your pictures, Richard and Thiago. I really do appreciate it. And as always, thank you very much for watching. If you would like to see more videos just like this one, Lightroom edits, Lightroom tutorials, and all kind of stuff, be sure to subscribe. I wish you an amazing day, keep taking awesome pictures, and of course, take care.